Record 10, Side 1, Lesson number 10, the 10th lesson, Practical section. At the restaurant.
Waiter, bring the menu, please.
Good evening, madam. Good evening, sir. Here's the menu.
What will you have, Mary? Hors d'oeuvre or soup? The vegetable soup is usually very good, and it isn't fattening, dear.
Don't be silly, John. I'm having hors d'oeuvre with some ham, smoked salmon, stuffed olives, anchovies, and pickles. I love them. What will you have?
Perhaps I shall have the same. What do you recommend, waiter?
Madam is perfectly right, if I may say so, sir. But the soup is also excellent. There is vegetable, chicken, oxtail, turtle, and cream of asparagus, all highly recommended, sir.
I'll have cream of asparagus.
What will you have to follow?
Mary?
Let me look at the menu a moment, please.
Here you are.
Veal chops and cutlets, roast lamb, stew, roast beef, steak, pork chop, roast pork, chicken. Aren't they tempting? I think I shall have an underdone steak. What are you having, John? Here's the menu.
I've already decided, thanks. Waiter, is the roast beef tender?
It's very tender, sir, and really first quality. The roast pork is delicious too. Perhaps you might prefer that.
No, thanks. I'll have roast beef with roast potatoes and asparagus. Will you have boiled potatoes, Mary? What vegetables are you having? There's carrot, turnip, spinach, cabbage, cauliflower, aubergine, and your favorites, mushrooms and artichokes.
I'll have some mushrooms with an artichoke or two.
Thank you, madam. What will you have to drink, sir? Here's the wine list.
I think we'll have the usual. A flask of that Chianti you served us last time will do nicely.
Thank you, sir.
The service is so good in this restaurant, and the food is a delight to eat. Their chef really knows how to please.
If everyone knew his job as well as the chef here, the world would be a very happy place. Ah, here is your hors d'oeuvre and my soup.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, will you open the flask and pour for us, please?
Sorry, sir. I'd forgotten. There you are.
This soup is really a treat. How's your dish?
It's just perfect. We must invite the Redstones here one evening. I'm sure they'd enjoy it immensely.
They certainly would. I shall see him at the end of the week and ask if they can come today fortnight. That would suit us, I think.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir.
I have a weakness for a fine piece of properly cooked roast beef, and this is excellent. Is that steak to your liking, Mary?
Lovely, thanks. This restaurant is a perfect place for an intimate meal. I shouldn't mind celebrating a birthday every week here. The tables are small and they are laid with care. Every knife, fork and spoon in its place. Smart and polite waiters. What more could one desire?
You're quite right. It's a real pleasure to dine out in such places. That was very good. Now I'm going to have some cheese. And you?
I shall have an ice and then coffee, please.
Waiter, gorgonzola for me, please, and an ice for my wife. Then you may bring coffee.
Certainly, sir. Your ice, madam. Here's the gorgonzola, sir. But if you wish, there's cheddar, Stilton, Emmental, or perhaps Camembert.
No thanks. Gorgonzola will do nicely.
Your coffee, sir. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir.
Waiter, bill, please.
That will be 35 shillings, sir.
Here you are. Keep the change.
Thank you, sir. Good night. Side 2. Grammatical section. The verb to do as an auxiliary. Part 2. We have seen to do used for the interrogative and negative forms of principal verbs in the present and past indicative tenses. The construction of the interrogative and negative forms of the past indicative tense are the same as for the present indicative. In the past tense, however, all persons of all verbs, except to be, are the same. The past tense of to do is I did, you did, he did, she did, it did, we did, you did, they did. As in the present tense, it is the auxiliary that changes in the interrogative and negative forms, according to the tense of the verb. The principal verb remains infinitive, but without to. The following examples will make this clear. Present tense. Mary kisses her mother when she says good night. Interrogative. Does Mary kiss her mother when she says good night? Negative. Mary does not kiss her mother when she says good night. Interrogative negative. Does not Mary kiss her mother when she says good night? Past tense. Mary kissed her mother when she said good night. Interrogative. Did Mary kiss her mother when she said good night? Negative. Mary did not kiss her mother when she said good night. Interrogative negative. Did not Mary kiss her mother when she said good night? In the first example, the verb to kiss uses do, present tense, while in the second it uses did, past tense. In both cases, the verb to kiss is expressed in the infinitive without to. He does not study at home. Did he not come to see you? Did not your friend write to you this week? When the contracted form of the interrogative negative is used, the not is joined to the auxiliary do. This is exactly what happens with to have and to be in the same forms. Examples. 1. Did he not come to see you? Didn't he come to see you? 2. Have they not read that book? Haven't they read that book? 3. Are you not going to the cinema now? Aren't you going to the cinema now? When the subject is a noun instead of a pronoun, it is placed after not in the long form. Examples. 1. Did not John give you 2 books for me? 2. Does not Mary know the answer? 3. Did not the boys play football yesterday? The irregular verb. The form of the paradigm, present infinitive, past definite, past participle, of regular verbs is simple, as we have seen. It is enough to know the verb is regular. Irregular verbs are irregular in their paradigm. The past tense or the past participle, or both, does not end in ed. We must therefore know the complete paradigm by heart. Here are some examples. To read, I read, read. To go, I went, gone. To know, I knew, known. To be, I was, been. To have, I had, had. To eat, I ate, eaten. To drink, I drank, drunk. To come, I came, come. To do, I did, done. To write, I wrote, written. If a verb is regular, it is enough to know the infinitive and that it is regular. But if a verb is irregular, It cannot be completely conjugated unless the paradigm is known. You must, therefore, learn the paradigm of all common irregular verbs by listening carefully to these lessons and taking note from time to time of new verbs you meet. Like the past tense of regular verbs, the irregular verb is the same in all persons, and the past participle remains unchanged always.